Apps can do a lot of cool things. You could order dinner, gamble on your favorite team, and track your health. You could even get a mortgage. One click and you can be approved. I'm not sure by who or what country they're in. You deserve more from the mortgage industry. At AnyMac Home Mortgage, we believe in the need for live human interaction during a very complex process. The kind of service and guidance which an app simply can't provide. Our customers are more than credit scores and income documents. They're individuals and families who live in and strengthen our communities. Their story is our story, and that story begins in a home. Chris Sawyer is an expert on providing superior customer service and in meeting the mortgage needs of current and future homebuyers. With over 18 years of experience in the industry, Chris is able to help customers migrate through the home buying and home financing process by using his wealth of knowledge as a well-qualified mortgage professional. And best of all, Chris is located in Cromwell, Connecticut, where he has helped hundreds of clients in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island make their dreams of homeownership a reality. Visit chrissawyer.any-mac.com. Email him at csawyer@any-mac.com or give him a call, 860-878-8730.
Chris Sawyer, NMLS number 39345, corporate NMLS number 338923. AnyMac Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. American Neighborhood Mortgage Acceptance Company, LLC, DBA AnyMac Home Mortgage. Lo-Fi Direct. Connecticut First Mortgage Correspondent, License Lender, Broker Number ML 338923. Massachusetts Mortgage Lender and Mortgage Broker License Number MC 338923. Rhode Island License Lender, License Number 201128110L. Call for
What the hell is going on? The people are having a cow. Why in the hell would you do this now? Overturn Roe V Wade? The timing couldn't be worse. The media will twist and turn this. You know they are perverse. They will say this is an attack on women's rights. They will say that it's a step back, and the Republicans are using their might. The case may have been wrong, but who the hell cares for people that stand for freedom, rights, and prayers? Do what you want, and no government should step in. But now you want the government to regulate sin? Forgive and love each other, no matter what. Live in the path of your faith. In your mouth, just keep it shut.
Yeah.
You fought for 2 years for freedom from a mask. Now you want to regulate others? My God. Tonight, I'm going to take you to task.
Yes, sir.
I will say this, and it's a prediction. You just separated us more, and you will see more segregation. The people will split and live where they have a say, like moving to Florida to escape a late-on-crime DA.
Wow.
Your hypocrisy is boundless, and I just no longer can. Guess what? I'm an independent. Republicans, you just lost this man. Welcome to Divided We Stand. I am the newly independent Jim Battisti, and that over there is Joe Aguirre, who I see shaved his beard, and it looks really good. If it seems like I'm not happy today, that's because I'm friggin' not. Okay, guys, I just got to tell you, and this is why. Everybody remember this guy? Everybody? Anybody? Hold on. Can we show this? There you go. That's right. Let's remember this guy and his freedom of speech. Or let's remember this guy and his freedom to wear, to wear a mask or not wear a mask. Oh, let's not forget this, right? Just say no. You guys screamed for 3 freaking years, right? About no masks, no freaking shots, no vaccines, my body, my choice. That was from a no mask rally, by the way, just to let everybody know. Oh, my child, my choice, right? Oh, no freedom, no lockdowns, no masks, no tests, no vaccines. But now you're going to tell other people what to fucking do. Are you out of your freaking Hippocratic mind? Let me show you something here, Joe. And this is what's already scary. I can't make this any bigger. I'm sorry. As of today, as of this afternoon, Take a look at this map. You see all those ones in red? We're out.
Yep.
We're just banning abortions. We're just banning abortions. That's what that is. The ones, the Arizona, it looks like, and the ones with the stripes, they're putting on smaller time limits or shorter. They're putting on more restrictions. Is what I should say.
I think one of them is doing 6 weeks, which, again, if you've ever gotten anybody pregnant, nobody knows it's 6 weeks that they're pregnant. And if you know by 6 weeks that you're pregnant, you won't have time to get an abortion. So you're stuck. Joe,
I have been consistent as gravity on this show, and I like to think that I have been, right? I'm sorry. Let me get rid of that real quick. There you go. I'm all about freedoms, right? I've been all about freedom of speech, freedom of choice, freedom of this, freedom that. You know what I'm saying? I have been about that. And I have been consistent in saying that I have been pro-choice. I'm pro-choice for one reason. Not because I like abortion. I don't. I personally would never have an abortion. I personally don't. I personally believe life begins at conception. That's my personal belief. But who the hell am I to tell you that that's right or that's wrong? Just like, and I'm saying this, right? I'm going to put it out there, right? Who the hell are you to tell me what a man and a woman is? I've been saying that since the beginning of this show too. I have nothing wrong. I have no problems with transgenderism. Just be happy. That's all I care about, right? But don't tell me that a woman is a man and a man is a woman. That's what I've been saying. It's my freedom to say, nope, biology says there's 2 chromosomes. That's it, right? I can say that. That doesn't make me a bad person, right?
Yep.
But now, and that's, and that's along the lines of what a lot of people are saying. Ben Shapiro says that, right? Don't tell me what I can and can't say, but now we're going to tell you what you can and can't do. That's
the hypocrisy here is literally off the charts.
Off the freaking charts.
And I'll tell you again, let's throw abortion out the window for a minute. Let's just say they picked something else to do. Again, this was a Supreme Court decision. Supreme Court decisions, the way this works is that's final. Every single justice, all 9 of them, when they got in their confirmation hearings, all said that they respected the law of the land and they respected precedent. 5 of them lied. 5 of them betrayed their word and what they said the day that they got their confirmation hearings. And I find that disappointing. And, when the leak came out, I said to you, look, this is a weird slippery slope. And I know you hate when I say that to you about your stuff. This literally now has become a slippery slope. They're already talking about adding contraceptives. They're talking about gay marriage and doing the same thing where, again, we can make these state-by-state decisions. And, of course, that's only going to lead to chaos because, again, you're going to go and you're going to find situations where you're married here, but you're not married there. And you can have weed here, but not there. You can get an abortion here, but not there. Thank God, last April, kind of in anticipation of this, I suppose, the state of Connecticut passed some laws that, number one, would protect anybody traveling out of state to come to Connecticut. They won't release your medical records to your state, so your state would have no way of knowing that you were here to do that. They also won't provide to that other state the providers or anybody associated with the procedure. So the state of Connecticut already kind of got ahead of this, but 40 states are banning this. This thing that, again, when we talk about grandfather clauses, your mom and your mom's mom, this has all been in their lifetime. This was a law for 50 some odd years. And now you're like, it's not a good look. It's not how the Supreme Court works. You don't get to arbitrarily go back in time and decide you're going to change something. Sketchy peasant is back. The Republican Party wants to take America in the DeLorean, hit 88 miles an hour and go back to 1950. Yeah, the good old days. The good old days is what they call them. That, of course, also is before the civil rights movement, the 1950s. Don't let
That's
that
right.
get lost on anybody.
Well, you might not want to bring that up. I'm just saying, you might not want to bring that up because the party that voted for Jim Crow and all that was the Democratic Party. But anyways,
when they were the conservatives, right?
That's
100%.
not okay. Let's not digress off the topic here, right? Let's say I just can't.
Fair,
right? I just look at again. If somebody ever asked me if they should get an abortion, I would tell them no. Right? I would. I'm just being honest. No, I don't believe in that. Give the baby away. Give it to it. Put it up for an adoption. Like I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I think it was when we first started talking about this. What is there? 40,000 people right now are waiting to adopt a baby. Like it's thousands. It's like in the tens of thousands, if not more. Right. So that's what that would be my personal advice. Right. I'm not telling anybody else to do that. I don't care what you freaking say. You say whatever the hell you want. But that's what I would give as an advice, right? Don't ever have an abortion. I don't believe in it. I believe life begins at conception. That's my personal belief. And the key word there is personal, right? It's not Joe's belief. And Joe doesn't have to believe that. Why doesn't Joe have to believe that? Because, again, consistent as gravity. I went to war and fought for the right for Joe not to have to freaking just step in line here. He can choose whatever he wants. He can think whatever he wants. He can say whatever he wants, thanks to people like me. And if you support people like me, if you support your military, because really all we are is a police force to defend your rights, then you should freaking celebrate that. And you should not try to freaking stifle that. Right? So again, Joe, I got to go back to the power of the government today is no longer with the people. It has been stripped away, right? Stripped away. Okay, if my wife gets raped and gets pregnant, would you raise the rapist baby too? I would give the freaking baby away. Life begins at conception, right? And that's just, I'm not telling you, Frank, that you have to do that. I'm not telling you there needs to be a law. I'm not saying that at all. I'm telling you that's just my personal belief. But I'm not telling anybody else what to friggin' believe. That's my point.
Yeah. So I want to talk about just for a minute, and I've got a graphic here. There are, for children who are adopted, most of them are actually going to age out. 1 in 5 will be homeless after the age of 18. Only half will be employed by the age of 24. 71% of young women will be pregnant by age 21, and 1 in 4 will experience PTSD. We know the Tim Tebows of the world and the Jimmy Batistas of the world who were adopted and have gone on and led good lives and have been super productive. That's not generally how it works. It's generally a rough experience for these kids.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you pull up crime statistics from foster kids?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if there is such a statistic, but I guarantee you that foster kids are in a high crime rate. When you put kids in the system fails you. I mean, that's right. We've seen this.
Foster care, yeah. Youth placed in group homes are 2.5 more likely to get involved in the justice system. 90% of youth with 5+ foster placements will enter the justice system.
And what's the statistics for adopted children? Did you pull that up? Was that part of your graph? Because I bet you it's lower. I bet you it's lower, right? Because at least you have people there that love you.
Yeah, this one doesn't necessarily mention crime. This one, they get abused. 3.3 million reports of violence.
And yet 40,000 people are waiting to adopt.
Well, there's 400,000. 400,000 kids currently in the system. I mean, adoption is it's a great alternative, Jimmy. And look, I like you. I don't like abortions. I think if we educated kids when they get to like the 6th and 7th grade about sexual education. And again, we're not trying to steer their preferences here, but if you've ever seen an after school special, generally speaking, when Jenny gets pregnant at 16, it's because she didn't think you could get pregnant the first time, which if you have an actual sexual education health class, that's one of the first myths that they'll hit on, is that anytime a penis is near a vagina, a baby could happen. The other thing is look, again, the side that wants to keep all the babies is the side that doesn't want to educate the babies and doesn't want to educate kids about sex, or doesn't want schools to. So again, you get God put the baby in there, and it gets confusing for people as to how all this works, but it is simple biology. And I think that's important for people to understand. The other thing is when you look at the statistics on who's getting abortions, I was on a conservative radio station today, Jimmy, for 4 hours, and every dude that called in said the same thing, like 18-year-old sluts. And I'm like, look at the numbers. That's not true. Also, abortion's been going down because we do have sexual education now, because kids are vastly more aware. Unfortunately, they're doing other things so as to not have sex, and I guess somehow that even maintains their virginity, or so they claim. But every single person I talked to today, Jimmy, makes the exception for rape, incest, and if the mother's life is in jeopardy. I'm like, so what's wrong with the rest of them?
By the way, I just want
Right?
to say this. I want to say this. Even Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, all those red states that are Mississippi didn't ban abortion. They moved it down to 15 weeks. And this is how this all got started. But anyways,
Right.
I digress. They still have the clause if the mother's life is in danger, it's allowed, just so that, but now no other extenuating circumstances are, which, look, if you wanted to meet in the middle somewhere, this would be my proposal, right? As a new independent, this is my answer. If electrocuting somebody is cruel and unusual punishment, then abortion is too, in my opinion. To the point, after the point of where Frank, I just got a glimpse of what Frank wrote when we're not going to put it up on a screen, and it just screwed me up.
I think Frank's going to like the 6th picture in my bit tonight.
I can't
You're
wait.
going to love it, Frank.
When the baby feels pain, or when the fetus can feel pain, at that point, in my opinion, just mine, that becomes cruel and unusual punishment. That baby did absolutely nothing wrong. A criminal, somebody who got the electric chair, murdered somebody normally, right? And it's considered cruel and unusual punishment to do it to that person. But we're going to do it to a very, very innocent fetus that hasn't even taken a step yet. That doesn't make any sense to me, because that thing can still feel pain. So now, and the liberals should actually like this, because I'm extending the 15-week Mississippi law, right? I'm extending it to 20 friggin' weeks. I am, because that's after, that's when the studies say that a fetus can start feeling pain. So after 20 weeks, which is a half a freaking pregnancy, that's it. That's the cutoff. I think that would be a great compromise. And obviously, late termers are for life-threatening conditions, right? I don't know anybody who couldn't be like, you know what? I understand that point.
Yes. I think everybody likes that. Here's the thing. Only 23% of abortions happen after the 20th week. Right? So again, this is like not a huge problem. It's already something that we're doing. Only 2 states even allow late-term abortions. But again, nobody's doing that. Nobody goes in the 9th month and they're like, nah, I'm out. I don't want to do this. No doctor would perform that abortion.
Unless it was a life-threatening condition.
Right. I'm saying if she just showed up a week out and was like, yeah, forget it, I changed my mind. No doctor would do that.
I would hope not.
That would be murder. Again, this idea, I hear this on conservative media a lot. that there's post-birth abortions. They deliver the baby and then they beat it to death with a hammer or some crazy nut.
Like a baby seal?
Right. And I'm like, that would literally be murder. Like, if the baby comes out alive and you kill it, you murdered it. That's illegal. Nobody's doing that. Again, any abortion that happens in the third trimester is generally the mother's going to die. It's the only reason they do it.
Right.
I think 43 states allow for that. 2 anytime, and the others, no. Nothing after 20 or 24 weeks or whatever it is. And that's fine. Nobody wants to kill babies. Nobody wants to kill a baby that's viable and you're looking at fingers. Nobody's doing that. It's just not happening. And if people are, that's a small percentage of lunatics that are doing that. Somebody told me today that they've read a bunch of stories about kids who were adopted and grew up and had great lives, and the mothers loved them very much and were very happy they made the decision to, well, of course, you wouldn't hate a kid. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't hate a kid, and maybe he would give you some PTSD reminding you of what happened, but you would still love the kid. So it's a little adorable human, right? Like, nobody's saying you wouldn't love the kid. That's insane. Again, if a woman doesn't want to be pregnant, the government shouldn't get to say you have to. That's what this is about. Plain and simple, the party that's always complaining about the government getting up in people's business wants the government to get up in people's business. Again, it's so, Jimmy, it's so inconsistent. It hurts. It hurts my head. You made the comparison to COVID, and it's like, dude, is that irony? My body, like, they don't even get it. I'm blown away by that. Again, when you ask me why I'm so critical of religion, the only group in the United States that was in favor of overturning Roe v. Wade is evangelical Christians. And it's not even by a wide margin. Okay? It's the only group in the country. So you're satisfying a small group for what's a small problem, and you're violating literally half the rights of people in the country to satisfy that. That's
this is the other thing.
Works. This is sort of tantamount to catering to transgendered people.
That's right. It's right.
It's a small group and screw everybody else. Again, that's lost on most people, Jimmy. And it's like, you guys don't see all the parallels to all these other things? Really?
It's funny, right? Before I came on, me and my wife hates it. She loves it when I'm on the show because I can't talk to her about it because she's sick and tired of me yelling at her about this. She really is. She's like, oh my God, just go talk to Joe. But I got to tell you, man, what really, really upsets me here, right? And it does, is that this is just another dividing rod, right? There's no unity whatsoever in this country, and now you just made it even worse. Because here's what's going to happen, Joe. You're going to have people, there's going to be mass exodus. You want to see the housing market's about to go back up, just to let everybody know, because people are going to now move. Whoop, whoop. People are going to move to California. People are going to move to New York. People are going to move to Connecticut. People are going to move to very blue states. And that's what's going to freaking happen. And all you're going to have are all the freaking red states, and then you're going to have your blue states, and it's going to be
tip the population balance back in favor of all the blue states.
Yes, it will. 100%.
Jimmy, I read another article today that I thought was super interesting, and it looks at this from a completely different angle. Sports. Alabama, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi. What are they all known for?
Football.
College football. If you're from Connecticut or California, you want to go to Alabama, you knock a cheerleader up, and hey, you're a dad. This impacts the guys too. And this article basically said that there's fear that people are going to not want to go to those schools down south. Again, God forbid something should happen. You're in trouble.
I didn't think of it from that angle.
Right? Well, again, here's the thing. Nobody thinks about the boys. If your son knocks up some girl, you're probably raising that baby. So good
Joe,
luck.
Think about this for a second, right?
Yeah.
Think about this. You made an excellent point. Nobody gives a shit about guys, right?
No, never, ever.
Puppies, babies, loved unconditionally. Unconditionally. No matter what. You've never seen somebody walk up to a freaking puppy and just kick it. You just haven't, right? They love puppies and everybody loves babies. Men are the only freaking creature on this earth that are not loved unconditionally. We only get loved conditional. We have to provide. We have to freaking support. And we have to protect, right? Nobody gives a shit about the guy. No, you're right. You're 100% right. We're the only ones that don't get loved unconditionally, and nobody gives a shit. It's,
And literally not even thinking about this from our son's standpoint, that if our sons were to knock up a girl at 16, he's a dad now, and his life is completely changed. Okay? Now, that's not to say that either one of us would necessarily say get an abortion.
Right.
But it's an option that you'd think that maybe these 16-year-old kids would have.
I am not, again, I'm finding it hard. I find it hard for me to not say, no, don't have an abortion. Right. Cause that's my personal belief. Right. Like I can't argue for, I'm having a hard time arguing for not changing the law. Right. Just having no laws for abortion. Like I can't argue for that. My own good conscience. Right. But I can't understand why in the world you would, number one, there's a freaking population crisis going on in the world as it is. Think about that for a second. That's thin to hurt a little bit, maybe. Right. And so it's funny to me. It's extremely funny to me that all the people that don't want abortions, but they just want it banned outright, right? These evangelicals that everybody considers racist, right? These are the racist people in the country. These are the KKKs. These are the white supremacists, the Proud Boys, right? Okay, cool. Got it. We'll just say that they are. I don't believe that, but we'll just say that well, my father's one of them, and I know he's not a racist. Look at me. But anyways, but anyways, 75% of all abortions I think this was a statistic I read, that 75% of all abortions happen in the Black community. That's doing your job for you there, white supremacists.
Yeah.
Why would you want to stop that?
You would think that they would love that and be big fans of it.
Right. And now, if you ban abortions, you're going to have more black people running around. Not that I care about that. Don't anybody
Dude,
listening.
Somewhere there's a Proud Boy watching this, and he's like, "Oh no!"
I hope so, dude.
What did we do?
Like, how dumb are you people? Like you're just not. They're just not smart, right? They're just not smart, and I don't I can't stand it when people don't think 2 steps ahead. Everybody in this country plays checkers. And I feel like sometimes I'm the only one that plays chess, right?
Yeah.
Because, no, that's not a good idea because of this, and this. When they're just like, yeah, sounded good, let's do it. What the hell is it? And this is our government. This is our government right now. Yeah, it sounds good. Don't worry about what happens next.
Jimmy,
what the hell is wrong with you?
During the 2008 recession, I was very Republican then. I said, you know what I think? I think we should legalize gay marriage because they throw extravagant and expensive weddings. That would really spur the economy. Think about it, man. Like, I thought, hey, these people would love that, and it would spur the economy. It's a win-win. That's where my brain was at.
It's genius, right? You want freaking AOC, Bernie Sanders, those people to be like, for everybody in the country to be like, hold on, let's hear them out. Go on a campaign, make marijuana the cash crop of America. right? You want to talk about green? Let's go green. Legalize marijuana in America all across the board, no matter what. Make it a cash crop. Let's sell it to the rest of the world. Now, with countries still making money without fossil fuels. You're welcome there, Bernie Sanders and AOC.
I love that. Listen, I'll give you one more. Dave Chappelle does a really great bit about abortion.
Really?
The gist of it, he says, I'm not for abortion. I'm not against it. It all depends on who I get pregnant.
That's a great and beautiful line.
Yeah. But then he says that men should, I'm not going to say all the stuff, but should mind their business. It's women's right. We should mind our business. But to be fair, he also believes if you decide to have the baby, a man should not have to pay for the baby. It's my money, my choice, he says. If you can kill this motherfucker, I can at least abandon him. It's an interesting take. It definitely is. 33% are white, 38% are black, 21% Hispanic, 7% are other.
Yeah, so the blacks lead the way. And I think you're right, Fred. And I think the statistic was within the blacks, 75% of them are within the age group. That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
So within the blacks, 75% are within a certain age group. Sorry. Thanks, Frank, for clearing that up.
I'll tell you. And when I do my bit later, it's actually worse than what you guys think, because of that group, the 33% of whites, 38% of blacks, 21% of Hispanics, they're also the poorest of the poor in each of those demographics. Again, we're talking about people who don't have great education, don't have resources, probably have a drug problem or some other addiction or some other issue that is making things not go their way. Okay. Again, the same party who doesn't want to educate and doesn't want to provide for people, just wants more babies. Again, if you watch The Handmaid's Tale, it's very much like Gilead. Like, we want more babies. That's a weird thing. We want more babies so we can put them to death. We want more babies so we can put them in jail. Like, those seem to be more Republican ideals than, you know what I mean? I don't know.
This is why I'm telling everybody right now, spread the word, get on Facebook, get on Twitter, get on Instagram, get on every freaking social media platform you can, and you write in Jim Battisti, period. The only way we're going to start this in your own state, find a candidate, find an independent candidate that you can get behind that stands for your freaking values, stands for your morals, and we take the freaking power back from the government by writing in our candidates this year. That's it.
I'm telling you, that would be brilliant.
Do not vote for these freaking cronies. They're all freaking in bed together, right? We just take back the power. Nope, I'm not voting for who you got to tell me my choices are. I'm going to write down what we say.
Here's my other scary thought, and we've talked about this before. They've been chipping away at the abortion rights for years with the ultimate goal of getting rid of it, and today they succeeded. They've been working on guns for like 30 years now. Chipping away. I know the Supreme Court just ruled in favor of concealed carry. That's fine. There's groups out there. There's that dark money out there. This is what I keep warning people about. It doesn't matter what the right is, whether you like it or not. There are elements out there that are trying to chip away at our rights, and they got a big one today. And the Supreme Court, like I said, broke precedent and decided that a final Supreme Court ruling on a topic, we're changing it. That, I'm telling you, this is just the beginning of this government getting much more involved. And for some reason, a lot of people on the right are sort of excited about that. Again, the limited government, small government people are seemingly okay with the government if it's not what they want.
See this number I'm holding up? This is a prediction, right? You know what I'm predicting with the number 4? The number of Supreme Court justices that are about to be added. We did away with this talk. The Republicans won, right? We friggin' won. The Republicans won on the packing the Supreme Court thing. Everybody thought it was a bad idea. Even a lot of the Democrats were like, hey, hold on. It's been this way forever. Let's not change it. Well, so was fucking Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
So guess what you're going to see now? All those Democrats that went, you know what? Nah, you know what? It's been 9. Let's just leave it. Now every one of those Democrats are going to be like, screw them. Give me 4 more.
Let's get to 14.
Give me 4 more. That you're going to see.
Or 13. I don't know how to add. That's my bad. 9 and 4 is 13. Yeah.
That's right.
I suggested he packed the court months ago.
I mean, and obviously I am not for that. Obviously.
Yeah, listen, I know people don't like that, and I'm not for that. But again, knowing what the plan was, you're talking about something. 70% of the country does not want Roe v. Wade overturned. 70%. It's the law of the land. It was the Supreme Court ruling. Like, despite all of that, the Supreme Court was like, we don't care. Complete disregard for both the law, for precedent, and for just how people feel. People are okay with it. Again, it's like, and this is my other problem with all these Republican states constantly suing, and they're constantly suing to try to take away your rights. They do it all the time. The Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton, was celebrating today. They immediately banned all abortion in Texas today. He took the rest of the day off, and he declared it a holiday in his office. Ken Paxton, by the way, was recently arrested and indicted on securities fraud charges. The standard in Texas is extremely low. That guy gets to decide. Like, come on, man. Really? A convicted... I mean, what? We got to do better. I'm telling you, I was saying this on air today, Jimmy. You deserve leaders in the Republican Party that are going to talk to you about reality, that are going to live in 2022, that are going to speak the truth. You know, we now know from January 6th that every single person around Donald Trump told Donald Trump he lost fair and square.
Yeah.
There was no reason for him to continue saying that. Zero. And he knew it wasn't true. And that's my biggest problem right now with the January 6th thing is this guy, here's the other bad thing. They raised about $230 million based off of January 6th. It was like some defense fund. You know where that money went?
Please don't tell me him.
All Trump allies. Yep.
Oh, okay.
They threw a little bit of money at a couple congressional races. All the rest of it, he's just doling out to cronies.
Like, I don't, that doesn't bother me in the slightest because everybody freaking does that. Everybody takes their freaking money and everybody doles it out to whoever the frig they want.
Yeah, but based on a giant lie, Jimmy, I saw a poll today. 66% of Americans think that our democracy is on the verge of fail. And would you believe more Republicans think that than Democrats?
Well, it's a good thing that we're not a democracy.
And the reason is, Jimmy,
right, so
the reason is
those people are stupid. But
2 in 3 Republicans believe Joe Biden stole the election of 2020. 2 out of 3 Republicans believe that today. Without a shred of evidence.
No idea where you're getting your numbers, man. I really don't, because I don't ever see.
You want me to email this to you?
Sure, because I don't see that. I just don't. I don't hear this on the news. I don't hear this anywhere. Even my freaking Midwestern friends, even my Texas friends, you know, my friends down in Florida and South Carolina. I was in the military, so we're all over the place. I don't hear. None of these guys are very red, by the way, right? They're not saying that. I don't understand where all these people dude, I'm talking Missouri, Midwest.
Yeah,
you
listen,
know what I'm saying?
I think for people who are not paying attention, for people who don't don't really care, but they kind of care. They lean maybe more right than left. They hear the stuff, they believe it, they don't look it up, they don't care, it sounds right, and they just carry on about their day. And someone's like, do you think the Democrats won the election fair and square? No. Based on what? I don't know. I literally had a lady today told me that they had suitcases of illegal votes. She saw it on TV. And I said, ma'am, not everything you see on TV is real. Okay? I explained to her that Donald Trump made that up. She asked where all the mail-in ballots came from. I was like, you realize that military votes by mail, right? They're the
for
biggest
years,
ones.
I did for years, yeah.
Yes. We like mail-in voting because you guys deserve the right to vote when you're overseas. And there's never been a problem with you guys voting overseas. There's never been any fraud with that.
So I will say this.
By the way, there's very little voter fraud, period.
Okay.
It's even lesser when it's mail-in ballots because they do double check everything. They have to.
So to say that there's not voter fraud is a false. It's a false.
That's like
saying
it's like saying there's no welfare fraud. Again, it's a small percentage.
Exactly.
It's not a rampant problem.
It's
Correct.
tiny.
Yeah.
It's a tiny percentage, right? And the number of votes. Look at guys. I did not want Joe Biden to win. All right. I didn't vote for Donald Trump, but I did not want Joe Biden to win. All right.
And you weren't way off on that, by the way.
But if it was like a couple 100,000 votes, okay, we can have this discussion. But 8 million is a number that you can't fraud 8 million and get away and not get caught.
Al Gore conceded the election with a 500 vote count differential.
Yeah, that's right.
500 vote differential. And he was like, oh, don't worry about it. I lost. Yikes.
Again,
where are we now?
250,000, even a 500,000 votes. There could be an argument because, there is a small percentage of voter fraud. 8 million is not a small percentage. That's more votes than registered voters in the state of Connecticut, just so that you know.
I think he said there were 3 million illegal votes cast, like by illegal aliens. You
3
could
million
double,
is a good number.
You could double that number and he still loses.
Exactly. So you know what? Get over it.
Again, dude, and here's the other thing, right? The Dominion machines that supposedly changed the votes didn't change the vote for any other Republican candidate. Herschel Walker, who's a Trump guy, just won his primary on those same exact machines.
That's right. That's right.
How do you explain that, Mike Lindell?
See, I love when your sources, like you bring up Mike Lindell. I don't even want to get into that. You know what we do have to do? We have to get in the break because I'm excited to get to your segment. So after the break, Joe's 2 minutes of crap. Stick around, guys.
There's no bigger investment than home ownership. And to make sure the house is up to your standards, you need a professional to look it over. Brian Flanagan from Shamrock Home Inspections is a licensed home inspector and a member of the Connecticut Association of Home Inspectors. Brian was a contractor for over 15 years, so he knows how homes should be constructed and how mechanicals should work.
What makes me a good home inspector was the 20 years that I was a home improvement person, doing all the different repairs that I have done and what other people have done wrong that I had to go out and fix. So I have a pretty quick eye on seeing what's right and what's wrong. Before you move, call Shamrock Home Inspections.
Before you make the biggest investment of your life, call Brian Flanagan from Shamrock Home Inspections at 860-268-2566 or visit shamrockhomeinspectionct.com. Well, they've done it. This is what we warned you about back in 2016. You remember. What's the worst that could happen? I talked to Bob Duff today. He's Connecticut's Senate Majority Leader. He warned me that politicians who say they respect the law of the land are using code. An ally would say he completely supports women's rights. Now, I've been saying since the draft opinion overturning Roe V Wade was leaked that I'm deeply concerned about the Supreme Court taking away a constitutional right. I mean, seriously, what's next? They're talking about marriage and contracts. By the way, that's Thomas Jefferson dressed as a pimp. They're talking about marriages and contraceptives. Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee has been saying it for weeks. Banning abortion isn't enough. She wants all of us to do what her preacher says Jesus did. And that's the other problem. Jesus' whole shtick was not judging people. If you think abortion is what sluts use as contraception, or that having sex means you have to deal with the consequences, you clearly haven't seen the stats. Between 2008 and 2014, overall, U.S. abortion rates have declined by 25% from women ages 15 to 44. And the abortion rate among women, poor women, remains the highest of all groups examined in this study at 36.6 abortions per 1,000 women of reproductive age. Abortion has become increasingly concentrated among poor women, who accounted for 49% of patients in 2014. You want more stats? There are currently 400,000 kids in the foster care system today. 90% of those families who adopt kids receive government assistance. Only 4% of those kids get a college degree. Half of them are going to age out with no prospects and no support. The party that doesn't support family leave, they don't support Head Start programs or even education in general, and yet they want to pretend that they care about kids. It's not about your religion and pushing your beliefs on others. Abortion isn't in the Constitution, but it's not in the Bible either. You don't get to pick and choose. I always talk about consistency. The Supreme Court just isn't. Yesterday, they decided states can't make their own laws to conceal and carry, but they can make their own laws about abortion. That's why confidence in the Supreme Court is at an all-time low. Stolen seats, justices jammed in before elections. This guy, Mitch McConnell, he went along with all the Trump's bullshit in the hopes that he would get the justices to overturn Roe v. Wade. He risked our democracy and our country for this. We got sold out.
By everybody.
Yeah.
By freaking everybody. And it's if you don't see what's going on in this country right now, ladies and gentlemen, you're literally blind. Rights are being taken away. They are literally being stripped before your eyes, and half of this goddamn country is celebrating it. But yet they want to stand up for rights of not wearing a freaking mask.
By the way, you messed up my picture thing for a minute. I just need to explain this. I talked about adopted kids being successful, and then I talked about kids not having support and opportunities. That's another picture of Tim Tebow, but that's with the Jaguars.
Sorry. Yeah, I know. I missed one.
That's a good one. No, it's a good, but I wanted people to see that because I pulled that picture and I thought, if I can embarrass Tim Tebow tonight, I've done my job. I'm just kidding. Look, Tim Tebow's mom's told the story again, like Jimmy Battisti, man, their moms had the baby and put him up for adoption, and it worked out great. And adoption, I think, is a beautiful thing. And if a woman is willing to give a baby up for adoption, I certainly think that should be one of the choices she should consider. Well, now it's one of the only ones she has, other than keeping it. So there you go.
Nice one. That was a good one. That was good. Do you want to see another adoption success story?
I do.
That's me, by the way. I don't know if you can see that. That's me.
Yeah. By the way, I saw you got your third credit. Is that correct?
My third movie credit on IMDb. I did. That's yeah. And there should be a couple more coming soon, hopefully. So yeah, I'm working. I am. It's going well. Not as well as I'd hoped it would or wanted to, but I can't complain. I've been lucky. So
yeah, you've gotten off to a pretty good start, man. I know people who have acted for like 10 years and got nothing. So you're way ahead of the game. And you know what? Your big role's got to be coming.
I hope so, man. I do. I really I hope so. And then who knows where we go from there. But
I will reveal one secret of yours. Jimmy wants nothing more than to be like a Marvel supervillain.
yes. Yeah.
He would love to play the guy that kills Chris Evans or
Oh my
whatever.
God, to kill Captain America, that would be
Right?
the greatest role
Yes.
ever.
Yes.
I'm a Captain America fan. I am a Marvel's Avenger fan. I do not like Chris Evans in that role. I don't think. I mean, I thought he was good in the first Captain America, but like starting the Avengers, he just became such a dick, in my opinion. Right? And I'm like, that's not Captain America. Captain America was never a dick.
You need a long black cigarette on a stick.
One of those guys.
Maybe a monocle. And I think Jimmy B, Lord of the Underworld, yeah, that guy's scary. And he kills Captain America, who probably eventually comes back and kills you. But, it'll be a cool couple summers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, my God. But, yeah, dude, I'm pretty happy about that, right? I was on a real high. I just got cast in another movie, right? And I was riding a real high, and I turned on the fucking news, and Roe V Wade is overturned. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I knew when the Supreme Court opinion leak happened, this was a real possibility, right? But I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. You're placating to a group of 25% of the population. That's not going to win you any votes. That's not going to put you back in power. What it's going to do is solidify the Democrats can do whatever they want right now. Build Back Better is about to go through. Just letting everybody know, because nobody cares anymore. The Republican Party is just shot themselves in the foot. Really.
You remember last week I ticked off some numbers here, and one of the numbers was independents right now are slightly leaning 32-27 to the right with a 3.5 plus minus in the poll. So for all intents and purposes, it could be less than 5%. 40% of them undecided. And I don't think this changes the hearts and minds of those people.
I honestly think they lost.
Yeah.
Those 40% are now going blue.
One of the things I was reading earlier today was another really cool poll. I'll send you all this stuff. It was all the show prep I was doing today, but 75% of independents want the two parties to compromise. And the numbers from each party are ridiculous. Democrats, independents, they all want bipartisanship. The lowest number, Republicans, was like 64%. 88% of Republicans want Democrats to compromise, but only 60% would want to acquiesce to the Democrats at all. And it's like, do you not know what compromise means?
They don't. Joe.
Right? It's like,
don't.
I'm going to just stand firm and get my way. And then when people say I'm entitled, I'll act like I don't understand what that means.
So I'm telling you, I predicted this weeks ago that this is the year of the independent. This is going to be the year of the independent. And I will tell you an interesting story off the air because I don't want to mention any names because this person actually is a politician. Right.
Ooh, I love it.
And I saw him in an event that I was doing. And he came up and he said hi because he knew I was a veteran. And we got to talking. The independents in the state of Connecticut haven't picked a candidate yet. You know what he told me? Give this guy a call. Gave me his number, gave me his name, his email. He's like, give this guy a call. I promise you they'd probably run you.
Let's call that guy.
I don't know, man. Like,
let's start the revolution today. I'm telling you, dude, if we could get one independent elected over the two candidates anywhere in America, would be a huge win, and it would be a huge step forward. Everybody knows by now these parties need to split both of them in half.
Yeah.
You can have a far left party, a normal liberal party, a normal Republican party, and a lunatic right-wing party.
but break it down into fours. You know, we need more choices. And again, that should only open up the opportunities for independents or even other parties that want to form, would give them more than a fighting chance at this point.
You know, I was always, for a long time, I was always a two-party system guy, right? I still am. I think that two parties are necessary, right? I think you just can't have one party dominate and run a country they want, because that's not a republic, right? But I'm starting to think that more might be better. More parties, more diversity, I guess, if you want to use that word. I don't like that word in the slightest. But,
well, diversity is nice when you're applying it to groups, not individuals.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Dude, because look, here's the thing, right? I
More
like
choice.
guns.
Yeah, more
I
choice.
like guns. I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-gay marriage. I don't know. And I want a tight border. I want border security. So what party am I in?
My party.
You know what I mean? Like, I think there's room for different versions of, you know, liberal Republicans, or, you know, I know what they call themselves, moderates or whatever, but like there's room to break some of these down so that you don't have to just be in a box where it's like, right, well, they 86% of the things you like, therefore, and the other stuff, suck it up and vote for us or you're a communist.
I've always said that I was a fiscal conservative and a social liberal, right? And I think if that's a great compromise, because your fiscal conservativeness will limit your liberal programs and all that stuff, right? So people are happy about that. Well, the conservatives are happy about that. All right, we're going to keep that in check. All right, right? But I'm also saying, you know, all right, cool. We're not going to use the money for that. Let's use the money for this and make these social programs, these mental health facilities to help veterans, to help the homeless.
You're talking about a libertarian.
Oh, there you go.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't put my name. I couldn't.
That's exactly what it is. Libertarian. Dang it.
God bless America. And you can do whatever. You can say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. Do whatever you want. As long as you don't break the rules of the law and you don't hurt other people. Do whatever you want. I don't care. All I want is for people to be happy. That's it. Happy. If you want to be gay, be gay. You want to be transgender? Be transgender. You want to be, you know, I don't care, right? And here's the thing about this, right? Like, how many people really care about gay marriage anymore?
Yeah, honestly. I think people are kind of just fine with it now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes the conservatives a little while, but they eventually always come around. Always. It's just progression. It's just the natural progression of life, right? And they'll come around with this too. They're literally fighting tooth and nail, man. They are holding on to that last bastion of whiteness, of white power, white conservative power. And that's all it is, right? Even if today's decision goes on for the next 50 years, let's say, eventually somebody's going to come along and be like, no. And it's going to be acceptable. Yeah. There's no law that I can't say the word fag. We just don't. It's just not socially acceptable. But there's no law. There's no law saying that, you know, that I can't say a lot of things. I won't say them anymore.
But please don't.
Yeah. but it's just socially not acceptable, right? So it's it'll take the Mitch McConnells, the Chuck Grassley's to, how do I say
retire?
Yes,
retire.
Thank you.
There you go.
Retire permanently, right?
Yeah, go back to the farm, so to speak.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. You know, and you'll see, and it'll change back, and the pendulum will swing again. But that's the way, because that's the way it always is. But right now, you're just dividing. That's all we're doing in a very divided country. All you did today was divided even more, if nothing else. If we don't want to talk about rights, we don't want to talk about conception at birth or whatever, or viability. All right, fine. Let's not talk about it. All you did today was divide a country even more. That's it.
And they know they did that. And if you read Samuel Alito's decision, he was almost being a little condescending in it. Not a good look. Again, there's a reason why the Supreme Court is historically or is being viewed negatively at a historically low level. And I'll just point out, it's been a conservative court for years now. Okay. So the negative numbers are because of the conservative court and not for any other reason. It's the things that they're doing. I'm telling you, listen, I grew up very conservative. A conservative court is a terrible idea. You want conservatives on a court, you got to keep balance. And courts should always be balanced, I think. Okay? But here's a good one. Miranda rights. You know where those came from? Court. An activist liberal court gave you your Miranda rights. Most of the good things that we got came from liberal activist judges. Conservative courts generally rule in favor of religion and other things that don't necessarily pertain to the average citizen. They generally side with corporations over people. You don't want a conservative court. Again, for most people, they think Second Amendment is the first thing that comes to mind. It's like Supreme Court does a lot more than that. You know? That's all.
There's more amendments than just 1 and 2. I'm just letting everybody know.
Well, do it again, right? Everybody knows 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Some people even 5 they're like, I don't know. Is that literally pleading the fifth? Is that real? Could that be? Yes. Most people don't know any of the other ones.
Right.
You might know 13 because you've seen the documentary about slavery. Tip. Maybe you know 14 from this, you know?
We've talked about the 14.
Yeah. Otherwise, people 25th, you know, because they almost pulled it out on Trumpy a couple of times. But otherwise, we don't really know. Everybody loves the Constitution. Nobody knows what the fuck it says. And dude, the best thing is, and I know, I again, in talking to people today, no abortion is not in the Constitution, but most of the stuff, even the whole thing about the right to bear arms. What does that mean? Does that mean in your home? Outside of your home? Can I limit you bringing that to a school or a public building? Or am I... Nobody even knows what that means. Also, the part about a well-regulated militia. Huh? Dude, when they wrote that in 1789, a well-armed militia was not like the Proud Boys. Right? They weren't thinking about like that. They were thinking about, again, people have to understand the Revolutionary War and the history of the colonies. For any of this stuff to make sense, again, the Third Amendment's the Quartering Act.
I'll make it easier for you. I'll make it easy for him. All right, check this out. A well-armed militia is formed to defend a country, right, from a foreign enemy.
Yeah, which
the Proud Boys,
which fit what was happening, by the way, in 1789. Yeah,
I don't know
what are the Proud Boys doing.
They're defending.
Not that.
That's not a militia, right? That's a gang, guys. All right, that's not a militia. That's a gang. You know what I mean? I'll form a militia, right? And I can have us, and we will be like the freaking. And I will make us, like the Marine Corps of Connecticut.
Funny, right? That's a militia. It's a militia. You change those white guys to black guys, and it's a gang. 100% it's a gang. No one's calling them a militia. Funny how that works.
It's a good point.
And all I'm trying to be, Jimmy, and I love you for it too, the consistency. It's got to be. It's got to apply to everything or nothing. That's where I'm at.
Yep. You're 100%. So we are at an hour and 3 minutes, Joe. You want to keep going? Because we could talk about this all night. I do actually have Judge Alito's opinion pulled. I wish I could turn this freaking light off. There you go. I do have it right there. You can't see it, but I was reading it, right? The Supreme Court of the United States, syllabus, Dobbs state, Dobbs versus, what's the other name?
By the way, Clarence Thomas wrote a concurring opinion. He was agreeing with this for a different reason. And by the way, he's the one that's freaked people out today because he's talked about reviewing due process across the board. He literally wrote that in that decision as his concurrent argument that due process in general, should be reviewed all across the board. It's like, what is this guy planning?
You want to see a coup? You want to see a real coup? You want to see a real military militia? You want to see real insurrection? Screw a due process, man, because that would be like the last straw. You know what I'm saying? Like today was bad. Today was extremely bad. 60, what was it? 60% of or 70?
70.
Don't agree. Yes, 70% of Americans. 70. That's not all on the coast, guys. Right? That's not just on the coast. So think about that.
Let's tackle. Sketchy asked this before, and I popped it up, and we didn't get to it. But the country's taken major steps back. Again, that's in the eye of the beholder. I agree with it, but we're more divided than ever. Do you think we will ever become united again? And I do, and I think it's a lot like what Jimmy just said. I think as the government continues to try to screw with people, it's going to backfire in their face. If we've learned, and if the Republicans have learned anything in the last 4 years, it's you don't know how to read some of these people. They just assumed, even after they didn't support Trump, he was claiming election fraud. They went to Georgia, and they just thought, yeah, we'll just coast through this, and took a lumping. They thought the people were supporting the Republican Party. It was Trump they were supporting. And you either separate the two or you embrace the two. And that's the spot the Republicans find themselves in. Mitch McConnell would like nothing more than to move on. And you've got the DeSantis's and the Crenshaws of the world, Matt Gaetz, who just won't let him go. Lauren Boebert and the other one,
There you go.
they won't let him go.
Stefanik.
And again, these people are not loyal to the Republican Party. They're loyal to Trump. And so I think they're in a real situation where they either have to continue to double down on the Trump stuff or completely snap away and worry that 20% of the party's not going to come vote anymore.
You know what, Joe, remember I said earlier, checkers, not chess. So for people like that Bobart chick or Crenshaw that are like first termers, brand new, right? They should start thinking about something. They want to be around a lot longer, right? They want to be the Mitch McConnells. They want to be the Nancy Pelosi's. Trump is only going to be around for 4 years. That's it. The most he can be around after it all is 4 more years.
Right.
What are you going to hold where are your morals? Where are your values? Where are your constitutions land? In 4 more years, and he's gone and he's an afterthought, right? Because you can't do anything in. Can't do anything else. What are you going to do then? Like, what are you going to run on then? They have no morals. They have no standards. They have no freaking, they have no credibility, in my opinion, because they're basing all their decisions on somebody who's only going to be around for the next 4 years, possibly.
Yeah.
That's stupid to me. That's checkers. That's not chess. You know what I'm saying? And this is our United States government, right? That are playing checkers with our lives. And it is time to take the power back. This is a government for the people and by the people, and we need to take it back. You need to write in the best candidate that you can come up with. Screw the parties, right? I mean, if the guy that you find is a Democrat, then he's a Democrat. Then write that Democrat in. If the guy you find is a Republican, write that Republican in. But do not vote for the freaking same old system that is breaking us right now.
Right. You're gonna be offered an incumbent versus some other jerk off that
Exactly.
one of the two parties chose. We're saying find somebody else. There's got to be somebody in your state who's super capable. Write that person's name in. And like I said, let us know who you're thinking about, and we will make a push on this because we want to see this happen. I'm telling you, I think it's important for both parties to see that people are sick of the politics. People want compromise. People want solutions, not division. And neither party's doing anything in the way of uniting this country. So I do think eventually they're going to push the wrong buttons and they're going to push us all together. And that's going to be where we unite together, both sides against the government.
Right. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like it's going to be the next thing you're going to see is, all right, no more. They're going to take a freedom of speech right away, right? They're not going to be able to do this or do the information board. They're going to push the information board, and everybody's going to be like, yo, hold on. And that's going to be like something that drastic will have to happen where for the people to be like, all right, enough of these stupid games, really.
I hate to say this too, but some either terrorist attack or some sort of political violence. I hate to say it, Jimmy, but some sort of political violence, maybe a lot of kids get killed in it. That might be the kind of thing where people are like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I hate that it's got to come to that.
So you say that, but Sandy Hook happened and people are still divided over gun rights. So,
well, again, we were in that situation where there were people like Alex Jones who were out there saying that shit was not real. And a lot of people believe that.
Yeah.
And again, that's where the information war began, where they were like, oh, it's all liberal. Because, like, dude, the liberals are not anywhere near that fucking competent that they could have ever pulled any of that off. There is no way.
They are not that smart.
No, they're not at all.
They would have gotten caught today.
Yes.
With the amount of technology, cameras, and all that crap around right now, they're not that smart. They would have been caught in a day. You're 100% right. So the only conclusion you can come with is real because they're dumb. And we need to change that, Joe. We need to change it. I don't know how we go and push this. I'm going to go, maybe we do a Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of crap push, hashtag write in, and that's going to be the new hashtag.
Hashtag write in. That's it. That's exactly it. There you go. Everybody who's watching or listening, spread the word on this because I'm serious. We've got like 6 months.
Not even.
5 months to rattle the cage here. Let's do this.
We got 5 months, man. Let's do hashtag writing.
Otherwise, you know what? More of the same.
More of the same.
More of the same, and we'll deserve it.
Just like we deserve what we're getting right now.
Yes. Yes. Again, listen, I will say this. I've heard from enough people on the right, like, dude, again, kind of trying to figure out how does this end? Some want it to end in a civil war too, which is a little scary, but people are uncomfortable on both sides with the mood in this country.
Absolutely. 100%.
And I'm telling you, I think people are starting to kind of get over the whole thing.
Me too.
And I'm telling you, that spells bad news for the politicians.
Hashtag write in, boys and girls. Hashtag write in. And
We've had it. We're done.
Just put whoever you want in. Right? Hashtag
rattle the cage, baby.
That's right. I'm taking this to the new. I'm taking this national. How can I do that? I got to take this national.
I love it. I'm telling you. This is a great idea.
We just got to use social media. It's out there, right?
Yep.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. What's the other one there? TikTok.
I'm gonna pull the team together. We're gonna have to produce some TikToks and things. We're gonna have to go viral.
Yep, I think we have to.
Everybody listening and watching, you better share it because we're gonna start a movement and we're gonna take our country back.
And it's not for our benefit. It's not for any benefit, right? I don't give a shit. I just want everybody to be able to be free, happy, and live their freaking lives without government interference. And if that takes me being elected to tell everybody else to shut the hell up, and I will, if you know me, I will, then I'll do it if that's what the people want. Oh, and here's my other idea, right? This will be the best one too. Does anybody know what's in this opinion? Does anybody know what's actually in Build Back Better? Did anybody actually read what's in the coronavirus packages, relief packages? Of course not. Who has time to read 24 freaking page document, right? On nothing, basically. So I will dedicate a channel to that. Here's where you go. Here's where you can watch, and somebody will sit there and explain it to you. And then you can vote in on your phone, just like American Idol. We can pick American Idols in one night. with millions and millions of votes. But we can't pick what laws we like and dislike.
Oh, dude, I've thought this for a long time. It's time to we got to start, because here's the thing. Look, if they would have made abortion a constitutional amendment, then we'd have been fine.
We wouldn't have had a show tonight, but
Sure. Fair enough. But yeah, listen, that was really funny. Yeah, I'm telling you, I worry about what's next, and I worry about what's coming, and I'm telling you, it's no coincidence. Again, if you look at some of the verbiage here, it's scary. Like there's definitely more bad stuff coming, but I'm when I say it's high time where the majority rules. And I think, again, there are certain topics and they should go up for public vote. Simple as that.
I don't agree.
If these people can't do the job themselves,
right,
then we should do the job, and we'll tell them what they have to vote for and make it that much easier.
Well, that's what. Yes, I agree, right? And that's because we're a republic. We are a representative republic. What you're talking about with the whole majority rules is a straight democracy, and you can't do that, right? Because then California and New York get to make up all the rules for the entire country.
Yeah, but if we're just going state by state,
yes,
then
that's fine.
Right. Have your little state competition and pick your laws.
I mean, that's what it is anyways, right? I mean, that's how you vote in, and people like this person better, so they're going to vote for him. He wins the most votes, right? So a representative republic is not far stretch from a democracy. However, we trust that the representative republic, our representatives know what's best. And right now they don't know shit. And we trusted these people even back in the 1970s and 80s when everybody knew that they were scumbags, right? Everybody said politicians are all scumbags. But we still trusted them to make the best decision for us. And for the most part, they did. Now, if that is completely gone away, that is completely reversed. These people are being praised. They're being put up on high, like they're gods, right? These people are being oh no, they speak the truth. And dude, no, not one politician speaks the fucking truth. Not one. All right. So we need to get over that crap.
Well, here's the other thing. The Democrats have known for months this was coming.
True.
They've done nothing. I mentioned earlier, the state of Connecticut, as soon as that leak came out, the legislature was like, oh, and they passed some bills, Bill 5414, I think it was, to put protections in for people who come out of state to Connecticut and for the abortion providers. I mean, immediately that day, Connecticut, bam, done, and it was covered. The Democrats in Washington did nothing.
Well, they didn't want to because they just wanted to sit back and watch the Republicans shoot themselves in the foot, which they did.
Sure, but you get a lot more money if it happens. So now we got to rally to stop the blah, blah, blah.
That's right. That's right. They're playing with us for votes. And we got to take the power back, ladies and gentlemen. We got to stop this crap. We got to stop the divide, right? That's going to be my slogan. Stop the divide, #write-in. There you go. We got to write in these people. We got to take the freaking power back. It has been an hour and 18 minutes of just blasting the government, which Joe and I love to do, right? And there's not been a lot of argument. I could have argued with you on a couple points you made, but I didn't want to tonight. But hey, I think it was productive. I think that we're going to start that movement. We need to start that movement. Stop the divide, #write-in. We're going to take this national.
People got to stop being bootlickers.
Go ahead and
stop that.
Expand.
I'm telling you, stop rolling over and letting the government lump you over the head. You should have a mind of your own. Use it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I push education every week that we're on this show. It doesn't just mean in school, right? And in colleges and crap like that. Go out and educate yourself on what's going on in this country. And if you don't want to read, watch C-SPAN. Get off of freaking Fox. Get off of CNN and MSNBC. Watch C-SPAN when they're actually debating these laws, these bills. Nobody watches that, but yet they're doing it for you. Just watch it. Educate yourself on what's going on. Educate yourself on the political climate right now is literally controlling people's lives, where it used to be people's lives controlled politics, right? Politics was always downwind of the people. It's not that way anymore. People are now downwind of politics.
By the way, this is what's wrong with political correctness, because liberal versus conservative is mentally handicapped. It's a lot funnier if it's liberal versus conservative is retarded, which is, you know what I mean? It's not quite the same. Also, Larry did a really good job of predictive texts. Divided we stand, so divided we fall. Very good. Yeah. Very good.
That's right.
And one last message from Larry. If you want to educate yourself, start loving your neighbors. Yes, have respect for people. And,
there you go.
You know, mind your business and tell them to mind theirs. And everybody will be fine.
It's not even about, I mean, yes, I agree with that 100%. MYOB, mind your own freaking business, right? Let me do me and I'll let you do you, right? But it's not even about minding your own business as much as it is about, all right, that's his choice. That's his choice, and that's fine. That's her choice, and that's fine. This is my choice. It better be freaking fine with everybody else, right? Let me choose. Let me fail or succeed on my own. Let me be a dick or a nice person on my own. Trust me, you will get exposed one way or another. If you're an asshole, if you're a racist, if you're a male chauvinist pig, if you're, any one of those, you will eventually get exposed. I don't need anybody's help. I don't. Let me live my life the way I choose to live it. Let me raise my kids the way I choose to raise my kids. If I'm an asshole, I'll get exposed. That has nothing to do with you. You see what I'm saying?
But that's just my point. Correct. Yeah.
But hey, Joe, I really enjoyed talking to you tonight. Today was great. You actually allowed me to get out some of my anger over this today. Sketchy, thank you very much for the vote of confidence, for leaving the Republican Party and becoming an independent. Next week, I will show you my registration card. I will have it, my voter registration card. It says I am now an independent. I'll scan it. I'll try to put it up. But hey, thank you very much for listening and watching, everyone. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much to our sponsors. For Joe Aguirre, this is Jim Battisti saying good night and God bless. Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm saying stop the divide, #write-in.
We can expect another wet summer in Connecticut, and that means more mosquitoes than ever. If you don't have your home serviced for mosquito control and you find you're spending most of your outside time swatting those little pests, or you did have your yard sprayed but you still have bites all over your body, you're in luck. Mosquito Shield of Central Connecticut provides the best value in mosquito control services because of how they treat your yard using the Mosquito Shield tailored treatment system. All mosquito control service is not the same. They don't use a fixed schedule or an identical product, one-size-fits-all service program. You can't control mosquitoes on a set number of sprays or visits. Unlike the competition, Mosquito Shield of Central Connecticut will service you for the season, whatever it takes to provide superior results. The Promise has awarded them an industry-leading customer retention rating of 90%. Visit MosquitoShieldCNCT.com to schedule an appointment with Wade DeCesare and enjoy the rest of the summer mosquito-free.